in one of the comments there, it wrote, "There is no pill that can cure you from insomnia. But if you want to heal, write in YouTube the sleep coach school." And in this moment, I want to punch this guy in the face. Like, how can you say it to someone hopeless like me? I try everything to make myself sleep, like everything, like see videos on YouTube, how to breathe, and maybe there's some sounds that need to make me calmer. So I went to my doctor and I really tried every pill that there is on the shelf. Like, and the more I try, the more I felt hopeless. And my body was, I remember it, so exhausted, but my brain was so alert, and I always looking for another night of struggle. Every night, every day, it's not really matter how much I slept. Every day, acceptance is the key, but it's important to say not fake acceptance. Like a lot of people trying to accept the wakefulness, but they hope that it will bring to sleep. It becomes another effort. It's so tricky. It's so paradoxically, but it becomes another effort. But real acceptance is just give up. Insomnia is so lonely place. If you can recover with another group, with more people like you should do it. I think it's make the process more easier.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to yet another really special Talking Insomnia episode. We have Zach with us. Welcome.
Hello, Daniel. I'm really excited to be here. And first of all, English is not my native language, so maybe I will speak slower because I'm also excited and I'm also write few points about the interview, and that's all.
Very, very nice here. Yes, I know we'll have no doubt, no problems understanding you, but it's helpful to have some points there. And just so the audience knows, you're a member of our Insomnia Immunity program, and I remember you from many of the calls. So it's really wonderful to be, to be part of your journey there. And again, thanks for volunteering to share your story. So with that said, let's start with the very beginning. How did you start having trouble sleeping, Zach?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say thank you to you and to the coaches, because you saved my life. Simple as that. Really, I feel really gratitude to be here. And if I can help someone that sees now, it was so important for me when I saw other people talking. So yeah. And it's interesting because a few days ago, I said to wrote some points to this interview. And I noticed that something like 5 months, I didn't thought about the question if I am recovered. And I mean, there wasn't a point that I can figure and say, oh yeah, here I just recovered. No, it's just when I see it now back, I just lose interest in all this topic. So I really needed to sit and think what I'm going to say, how I felt back then, how I thought back then. Like it's completely was out of my mind. So it's amazing. Maybe this is the definition to recovery. Like, I don't know. So yeah, for me, everything started something like more than 5 years ago. It's November 2020. And it was, I think, in the period of the COVID, in the lockdowns. This is how we say in English, lockdowns.
Yep.
And before it started, I slept well. I slept great, like before the insomnia. And even though I was in the army and I'm a veteran, and I had a lot of sleepless nights because the job, and it never bothered me. The sleepless night. There was a tiredness, of course, but it wasn't involved with something emotionally. And good example for it, I had a journey of 6 days that because of the stress, this journey was to be in accept to some unit. because of the stress, I didn't sleep 4 nights in a row. And the journey was 6 days. And at the end of the week, when they told me that I accept to this unit, I was the happiest in my life in a week that I didn't sleep 4 nights. So it's funny to see it right now, how everything started. So I moving also continue with the November 2020. It's the period of time of the COVID. I started to learn law and business in university, and I moved to small apartment in a new city. But in fact, we learn in the Zoom. We didn't meet face to face, and I didn't went out from the apartment something like 3 weeks, 4 weeks in a row. Even the groceries I ordered to the apartment, like everything was shut down, cops in the street. And I remember that we had a small exam, and it was the first, but was really small, not something serious. But I remember that I was really excited from him, and I didn't slept 2 nights before him in a row, and it didn't bother me. But I just did the exam, and I told myself, yeah, it's a weekend now. I can just rest and sleep. And then the night came, and again I didn't sleep. But now there wasn't a reason, and this is the moment that I got panicked, and I thought that something is really wrong with me. And this is the point that I can say here it started, there. And in the same night, I picked some clothes in 4 a.m. in the morning, and I drove back to my parents' home, something like 1 hour and a half. And I stayed there for all week. I didn't come back. And it was okay because everything was in the Zoom. And after 1 week that I slept well in my parents' home, I told myself that I need to go back to the apartment. And I went back. And I didn't sleep 3 nights in a row there. And every night started to be an enormous struggle. Like, the heart was beating, cold sweat. And I try everything to make myself sleep, like everything, like see videos on YouTube, how to breathe, and maybe some sounds that need to make me calmer. And even I tried weed, and I didn't smoke weed, but someone told me that it can make me sleepy. So it was the opposite. And I took the bed to the living room, tried to sleep there, tried to sleep in the couch, and nothing works. Like I tried everything and nothing worked. And after 3 nights, I went to the pharmacy and I asked to antihistamine. This is how you
Yeah,
say it? Yeah,
antihistamine. Yeah.
antihistamine. And it worked for 2 nights. And then the third night, stopped working again. So I moved back to my parents' home again. But this time I was very, very anxious. And then I called to my doctor. I remember it. It was the first thing in the morning. And I asked to see him. And he wrote me Z pills, Zodorm. In my country, it's Zodorm. I don't know if it's the same.
Yeah, it's
And
probably
again, it worked.
Zopiclone or something like that. Yeah.
Again, it worked for 2 days and stopped working like everything else. And this is the moment that I decided to go to my parents' home for good and not go back to my apartment. And the first night in my parents' home after I moved, I didn't sleep. And this time I I didn't have where to escape from. Like the panic arose to new levels, and it was really like all the world is collapsing me. So I went to my doctor and I really tried every pill that there is on the shelf, like from different pill of SSRIs that could help to sleep. Like there is names that I don't remember, and there is trazodone that of course I tried, didn't work. Benzos, of course, didn't work. And everything that I tried to do to fix the problem just make it worse. Like nothing worked, and I just felt hopeless. And like the person before the insomnia is a different person. It's not me anymore. This is was the feeling. So I started to go to treatments, and I start with regular CBT because the therapist told me that I have general anxiety, but in fact, I hadn't anxiety about anything. Like the only thing that really brought me an anxiety was sleep and thoughts about sleep, nothing else. I don't know why she thought about it. So after a few months, didn't work, and I moved to CBT-I, to sleep hygiene, that just make the thing that all the insomnia worse. And after 8 months, I also left the CBT-I. And in this way, I lived something like 4.5 years. I moved from different therapies to different methods, and I really tried everything. Like I even tried psychedelic therapist, and I tried different pills and different spiritual ways, and hundreds of books that teach me how to breathe right, or all the mindsets become on sleep, like all the mindset from the minute that I got up in the morning to the minute that I going to sleep. If I'm going to sleep, I thought about sleep. Like everything that I did, even in the morning, I thought how it's gonna influence my night, and the world become right or wrong, and everything becomes scary. Like, yeah, I scared just from sleep, but when you are so scared, everything in life start to be scared. Like, even go out to a meeting with a friend tomorrow, I don't know, because how I'm going to sleep, how it's impact my day after. Everything was on it, and it was like really disaster. And I got into some spiral of exhaustion and terror and fear. And I tried more in power to going to sleep, even year after, 2 years after, 3 years, it not really matter. And I truly believe that if I do the right thing, I will sleep. And if I won't do them, I won't. And the more I try, the more I felt hopeless. And my body was, I remember it, so exhausted, but my brain was so alert. And I always looking for another night of struggle. Every night, every day, it's not really matter how much I slept. Every day, I looking for it. But above all of it, the loneliness was the hardest thing, because so many people, so many therapists, friends, family, when I told them about my problem, there was like, what do you mean you're scared from going to sleep? Like, yeah, there is people with sleep problems, but I'm the only one who terrified from it. This is how I believe. Like, it not really matter if I slept week or 2 weeks, great. Like, I still was terrified from the idea that I want to lose it. And I really felt alone in this world, and I just stopped to talk about it. I didn't talk about it, and my life stopped. Like I stopped to go out with my friends. I didn't sleep outside of my home. Everything stopped, and this is the moment that I couldn't speak about sleep anymore. I couldn't hear the word insomnia anymore. Like I could speak about anxiety in general, but I couldn't speak about sleep. Like I could speak about the symptoms, but not about the root cause. And then in February 2025, I was in again in some low point in my life with the insomnia, and I looked for in Reddit, I think, for a new sleeping pill. And in why in one of the comments, it wrote, "There is no pill that can cure you from insomnia, but if you want to heal, write in YouTube the sleep coach school." And in this moment, I want to punch this guy in the face. Like, how can you say it to someone hopeless like me? And oh, it's so funny. I write your name in YouTube and I saw a video of yours. And 10 seconds afterwards, I closed the video. I couldn't see him. I couldn't hear the word sleep. And after 2 weeks, I guess, I went to YouTube again to see something about mindfulness. And the algorithm of YouTube bring me your channel again. And it was a video of the interview of yours and Donna, I think. And I see all of it. And afterwards, I ordered the book of Sasha Stevens in the digital. And I read the book in 3 hours. And in the first time of my life, I didn't felt alone anymore. I mean, the first part of the book was exactly like the same thought that I ever had. And it brings me some hope because, oh my God, if I'm not alone here, maybe there is something there. And then I think that I saw the best interview that I ever saw. And I even remember the place that I saw him. And this is the moment that everything changed. It was your interview with Sasha Stevens. Like, I I really remember how I felt when I saw it. It was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And this is what the pivotal moment, like here the true recovery started. And it's okay,
Wow.
keep going. If the story of
No, this is you're telling your story in a wonderful way. That's why I haven't interjected or anything. And I will say that by the way, that getting a chance to talk to Sasha Stevens in that interview was like pivotal for me too. She's a real presence. Like she's very special and had a big impact on me too. But that aside, I wanted to ask you during this these years of like the struggle. It started when it was COVID lockdown. You were doing studying business. How like were you able to continue your studies? Were you able to do daytime things and have a job or things like that, or did all of that also take a backseat, or what was your obligations and things of that like?
My parents, they wanted back then that I stop the law school, but I didn't. I knew that if I will stop, my situation will be worse. So I didn't believe that I will finish. I believe that in some point, or I will collapse, because you believe that can be crazy in one time. You don't know what you have, or that just the school will tell me, you can be here. But I finished the degree with the insomnia. Like I finished the degree in 2024, and I started in February 2025, and I didn't work, but I studied. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's thanks for sharing that, Zach. And I think that's so helpful for the community to know. Like it's so clear from your story that you were in an incredibly difficult place, and still you managed to study and take exams and do things like that. That's just always something I want to highlight, that we don't think is possible, but it is possible. But yes, from that, take us further. So you had this pivotal moment. Yeah, what happens next?
I joined to the program, and I start step by step to learn few things. And I want to share those things, but before of it wasn't immediately. Like it was a lot of months with a rough speed bumps, a lot of them. And every speed bump was important. And in the beginning, I started to understand that for years I tried to fix my sleep, to manage it like a problems that need a solution. And I started to learn again and again the most important thing, that I don't need to do nothing. And it wasn't just thought, it was like some change in my beliefs. I I understand that my sleep, every speed bump that I had, I understand that my sleep, it's not depends about blue light, exposure to blue light. It's not depends on some routine that I do. It's not depends on any rules that I did. Like all those efforts was useless. And in fact, all of those things just make it worse. They never gave me some control, never. Just the illusion that they can give me. And the only way that really disturbed my sleep was the fear, nothing else. Like the gas and brake model, just it. And secondly, it was very important, the mysterious about it just disappeared. You know, when you have insomnia for years, you truly believe that you have 1,000 reasons why it's happening. Like I couldn't figure it out why I feel like it. And it felt so complicated, and you try everything to maybe it's this, maybe it's this. But when you understand that the only thing that you have is fear of being awake, the things start to be more easier. And when you understand, when you befriend wakefulness, and it's horrible in the beginning, and you understand that lack of sleep can't hurt me, and my body knows what to do. So you understand that your job is not make sleep happens. Your job is just get out of the way and let the body do its job. And I think that those insights brought me really a big relief. I was like, of course, I felt anxiety still, but I felt also free from the stress to sleep. Like now that I can befriend wakefulness, I just don't need to go to sleep. And step by step, there was nothing to be struggled with. And of course, it included a lot of speed bumps, but I wasn't need any strict rules anymore, and I wasn't need to act right to sleep. And I just gave up. I had a conversation with Neil. Neil, he's from my country, and I talked with him in the phone, and he
Just
just
very, very
told
quickly,
me,
Zach, very, very quickly say to people who are like, who's Neil? Neil he had his own success story here. And if you Google like Talking Insomnia Neil, you'll find it. And he's been a guest a few times as well. That's the Neil. So yeah, keep going.
yeah. So I talked with him, and he told me, yeah, just give up. Just give up, just give up, don't sleep. And it's so recovery, it's full of paradox, because in the moment that you really give up, you start in the recovery. It's against all our instinct because we so love control, but when you truly give up, this is the recovery. So the moment when I accept that I don't need to do nothing, all my attitude to wakefulness has been changed. Like I started to befriend wakefulness, and there was nights that I was awake that was easier, and there was nights that I was awake and they were like rough with a lot of anxiety. And there is the recovery. Like how are we gonna say it? Sleep, good night of sleep can temporarily bring some relief. It's true. But if you are still depends in good night of sleep to feel safe, you are still in prison. And not the good nights are the necessary for the recovery, but the hard nights are necessary. The hard nights, staying there with the ability just to stay there without struggle, it's hell, but there is the recovery. And if someone wants to recover, he needs to point there. And This is the reason also that acceptance is the key, but it's important to say not fake acceptance. Like a lot of people trying to accept the wakefulness, but they hope that it will bring to sleep. It becomes another effort. It's so tricky. It's so paradoxically, but it becomes another effort. But real acceptance is just give up and don't use it as a trick. It's so important to understand. And I didn't understand it at the beginning. Like it was every speed bump, you remove some another layer and another layer, and you understand the real truth that's behind all those things. So really the point that everything started to shift is the point that it wasn't when I do the right things, but the understanding that I don't need to do nothing at all. Like the relief with the inside that you are not need to control nothing anymore was the key for my recovery. And it was big thing for me.
That's what, yeah, so well said. And I'll just add a line to what you shared here about it's really not the nights where sleep happens easy that are key. It's more like how we respond to the other nights that are difficult, right? And the way, and you've heard me surely say this in one of the calls in the program, because it's one of those things I say the most, which is like when somebody tells me, "Hey, Daniel, I slept great last night," so excited, and I'm like, I'm also happy for them, because that shows that there's nothing wrong with you. You can sleep, you have started like, oh, that's wonderful. But it can also be like, I slept great, and how am I going to do it again, right? That can keep us in that struggle, right? But when somebody says, I didn't sleep well, I didn't sleep much, but I'm okay with that, like it didn't bother me much, then I'm like, now this is kind of exciting to me as a coach, because that means you're on the other, you're on the way, you're on the path away from performance anxiety. Like you can have a choppy night without thinking it needs an intervention. That's really, really key. Now, I had one question for you, Zach, which was, you mentioned how the journey for you, like for most people, is kind of this, like, things get easier, then we're in a speed bump, then it gets easier, speed bump. But now, where you're now, and you're looking back, you can see that, oh, those speed bumps, they taught me a lot. Like, they were really helpful for me, actually. When you had the speed bumps, did you see that then, or were you kind of just kind of backed into like, oh my gosh, this is so difficult, I'm back to square one, like that?
Every speed bump started with the thought, oh my God, I'm back to square one. Even though you are prepared for it, because Alina always told, yeah, it will come. Even when you know it will come, when it comes, the right thing, the first thing that you think it's okay, it don't work also. But it's not true. And every speed bump, I think the last ones, I was like, it's hard for me right now, but I know that I'm not in the square one. And I know that I don't need to do nothing about it. It's like an automatic reaction that my brain point out. And I don't need to figure it out why he did it. Like automatic reaction, it's on, it will be off. I don't know when, but it will be off. And I don't need to do nothing about it. And this is the real truth. Like the speed bumps bring me the understanding that I can live my life in speed bumps when they're happening and not doing nothing about them. I will tell you a story. I'm a boxer. I practice 6 times in a week boxing. And when I had insomnia, I was maybe twice a week, because I couldn't believe that I can go there and do great work. And you are in the ring. I'm not a professional, but when you are in the ring, you are really afraid. Oh, I'm not going to sleep, I'm going to knock out or something like that. And when I start to going to boxing every day, like I love it. I don't do it to convince myself. I love it. And I had rough weeks, like 3 nights in a row, and I went every day after work to do a boxing, and I got punched in my face, and the sleep had nothing to do with it. Like now today, I feel stronger than ever. It not really matter if I sleep or not. Really, you can do whatever you want, even very intense sport without sleep, because the problem is never the sleep. Our mechanism of sleep is always it's okay. It always will bring the sleep he needs. The problem is the fear. And when you are looking to good night of sleep, you are looking in the wrong place. It's not there. It's all the sleep effort, and the trying to fix the problem is the real problem. Like it what keeps us in the struggle. It without it to the insomnia, there is no gas to the insomnia, and it's very hard to unlearn the sleep effort because for me, for after 4.5 years with insomnia, my brain is the automatic those sleep efforts. It's not an effort, is the reaction. So it's very hard to unlearn it. It's very scary to someone who suffer from insomnia because someone with insomnia, you are so in control. You are so Chris, the coach Chris, I
Yeah,
think,
Chris. Yeah.
he did it. Like you are so dry, very tight, but you just need to let go. And this is the real thing that you learn here. There is no big secrets. The big learning here is to not doing nothing. There is nothing that I can do to make myself asleep, and I don't need to. There is not just I can do, I don't need. It's just a passive process that happens alone. I don't need to do nothing. And this is the real truth. And you can discover this truth just by being awake at night. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. So well said. Yeah. That's 100% it. It's a big paradox, but that's it. Like insomnia can't. Another way to say what you said is like insomnia cannot exist without us trying to stop insomnia. It's like another one of those paradoxes.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I think we covered everything very nicely. Now, if you look back and when it started, all the way back when you had that exam, and if you could tell yourself something, from now, what will you tell yourself like?
It will be okay. Just don't do nothing about it. Keep going. Don't force it. I remember the nights. The first nights, I remember them great because it's so in your head, so traumatic to your head. And I remember how I went to bed and I was like, you try you so much. And then you feel your heart. Okay, so I will maybe count, I don't know. And you're so confused. And I remember the panic, the big panic that you don't understand what's happening. Like, what happens there? And if there was some therapist, someone who told me, yeah, it's okay. It's just hyperarousal. It's okay. Go be awake at night, read a book, do something that you like. It will be fine. This is what I have been told if I can go back. And I want also to speak about the program. Like,
Yeah.
if you know, I guess you know, we have. I started something like in the beginning of March 2025, and all the people who graduated with me, we are still in connection. We are like big family now, and big part of the recovery is to, I don't know how to say it, to get this virtual hug from 10 people that feels exactly like you. There is something really strong in those feelings. I can't explain it because insomnia is so lonely place. if you can recover with another group, with more people like you should do it. It's really, I think it's make the process more easier. I will not say faster because in need it's very slow, but much easier because
Yeah,
there
yeah,
is,
no, thanks for sharing that, Zach. And that's I think I spend a lot of time thinking about like how can I explain this, some new analogy, some new model, things of that nature. But ultimately, what I think often helps more than anything else is simply being in a call with other people who've gone through the same, who can relate. So you truly feel I'm not the only one, and you can support other people. And one thing I remember from you, Zach, is that whenever I was in calls with you, you were so often that person who like jumped in and helped other people, who shared some support, and like I appreciated that so much.
yes, because I know how it helped me. So yeah, and I heard also when you are in recovery, you have a thousand insights. You have a thousand insights, and then come a speed bump, and then all those insights are gone away, and you're, oh my god, where are all those? Yeah, it's so funny. It's this process. When I looked back, it's so funny. Back then, it wasn't. It wasn't funny, but yeah, it's
Well,
yeah,
speaking of which, the process and looking back and everything, really, we're going towards what you, I'm sure you know, is the last question I always have for guests, which is, did you learn things from going through this journey that has helped in other areas of life?
yes. Um, Although I didn't felt anxiety about other subject in my life, I of course felt fear from a lot of things in my life. And even it's a new interview, new place to live, new city, marriage, things in life that are happy, but they can be very stressful. And the belief that I can go there, I can meet this fear, and it's just a fear. I think that before the insomnia, when I had a fear or something like that, I just ran away because I can. But insomnia takes you, like, it's bringing you to a place that you can hide, you can't run away, you must face it. And once you face the fear of insomnia, you can face almost any fear because maybe the root cause is different, but the symptoms are the same. The process are the same, the thoughts are the same. So every time I meet a fear, I meet it differently. And this is the big thing for me. It's truly changed my life for good. I can't believe that I say it. Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful, Zach. Thanks so much for sharing that. It was really, really so much wisdom in this episode. And just want to thank you again for volunteering, for being here, and for all the support. And be in touch, okay?
Thank you.
Anytime.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone. Hi, it's me, Coach Daniel. And I hope that you found a ton of value in the video that you just saw. Now, if somebody would ask me, hey, Daniel, what do you think would really help somebody who has tuned in to a lot of the videos, who understands a lot, but who's just not seeing things change for them? I would say contextualization, discourse, to talk to somebody who understands what you've been going through, that you can ask questions to, get a reply, ask a follow-up question, get another reply, etc. That conversation so often starts to clarify things and really kickstarts your journey towards peaceful sleep. And one way you can have such a conversation is by booking a call with one of our coaches. In fact, you can head over to our website, thesleepcourseschool.com, and you can see which coaches offer calls and check out their individual success story to see if their story relates with you, and you find that connection that leads you to see that this is a person that I could work with, this is a person I would talk to. Then you can book a call, and that could be what really kickstarts your journey to where you want to be.